What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today I'll be showing you how to make French dip sliders in the Instapot. And I'm telling you, this is good. As usual, go over my ingredients here. You got 2 to 4 pounds of chuck roast, 24-pack Hawaiian rolls, 4 cups of beef broth, 2 packs of provolone cheese, 1 onion, and 4 garlic cloves. And of course, I'll have all the measurements and ingredients in the description box. So let's get started. All right, we're gonna start with the onion. I know I said 1 onion, but this onion was pretty big, so I'll dice this up. Oh, look at that magic. Now that I made light work of that onion, we're gonna move on to this chuck roast. All right, we're gonna cut this chuck roast up so that we can sear it in an Instapot. Now, there's not a lot of room in the Instapot. That's the purpose of doing this. And you want to cut it up into 3 to 4 inch sized pieces. Also, very important for you to have a sharp knife so you can make short work of this. And when you're done, this is what you have. Also, when you pick a chuck roast, you want to make sure it has nice marbling in it, because that fat's going to render down for this long cooking. It's going to make a nice succulent bite. Now we're going to move on to seasoning it now. We're going to go with some salt. This is some coarse salt that I have in a granulator. Salt is good because it's going to help brine this. It's kind of like a dry brine. Want to make sure all the pieces are covered. All right, now we're going to move on to the pepper, and we're going to repeat the same seasoning technique with making sure it's all covered. And I'm going to use my AP seasoning from Caribeque, making sure this is fully covered. Every piece of this meat is going to be seasoned. And my Spanglish Asadero surf and turf, another good brand, low in sodium. And when it's all said and done, this is what it should look like. You're going to let that rest for about 10 to 15 minutes, get that seasoning a chance to set in. And now we'll move on to the Instapot. All right, now it's time to get this Instapot ready. I'm going to put mine on the saute setting and let it heat up. So we're just going to sear our meat. We're just going to brown it. We're not going to fully cook it. We just brown it on all sides so we can lock in some of that nice meat flavor. All right, so I think it's hot. I'm going to go ahead and pour about a tablespoon in there. Okay. There's that sizzle right there. The house should be smelling nice. This one too. Well, you're just gonna let that go till it browns on each side. All right, so it's been about 3 minutes. There we go. So that looks like, yeah, that looks good right there. All right, I'm just gonna turn them to the other side. There you go. You just want to brown it a nice brown. Just lock in flavor. This is locking in the flavor. All right, let's go ahead and flip now. Okay. So I've browned all 4 sides, and all said and done, it should look something like this. You see a little red in there. That's okay, because we're going to put these back in later and pressure cook them. All right. Go ahead and remove it. Okay, so we back and got all the meat browned. Add a little bit more olive oil here, and I'm going to add the onion now. Get some of that fond that's off the bottom that meat has left. Again, I got my Instapot on saute, the saute setting. And I'm going to get these onions a little tender. Try and get some of this stuff off the bottom. I'm going to add my surf and turf again from my Spanglish Asadero. I'm going to put that in. Sorry. Here we go. Teaspoon. And I'm going to add my all purpose Caribeque. As you can see, all of my onions are kind of caramelizing right now. It's about as soft as I want to get them. And last but not least, I've got to add some minced garlic to the party. Probably about 4 cloves. Now it's starting to smell real fragrant. Onions getting that nice color on them. Right, the garlic is smelling real nice right now. Now I'll turn my saute setting off and I'll add my meat and all the juice that came from the meat that was on the plate, and I'll get ready for my beef. All right, so I added 4 cups of beef stock to this, and I'm gonna put it on the meat setting, which is the pressure cook. All right, put my top on, making sure the setting's on pressure. I'm gonna go to my function here, which my setting for pressure cooking is meat stew. I'm gonna go for 35 minutes. So we're moving on to the next step in the process, which is getting our bread ready. So you saw earlier with my ingredients, we had a 24 pack of Hawaiian bread. And you're gonna cut it in half and then slice it in half top to bottom. And you're gonna start with putting the cheese on here. And I'm using some provolone cheese. I'm also gonna use some American cheese as well, because that melts really nice. All right, so I didn't want to bore you with this next process of putting the cheese on. That's why I sped it up. So we just want to make sure all the bread is covered. Next, you're gonna melt some butter, and we are gonna glaze the top of the bread. This is gonna give a nice toasty bite into this. And I tell you, man, it really does make a difference. Also, you're gonna take some granulated salt and you're gonna salt the top of that, and that's gonna give you a nice, salty, crunchy bite, and it really adds to this sandwich. And it's now time to preheat our oven. So I'm gonna preheat it to 300 degrees. And once we build this sandwich, we're gonna put it in and toast it. Okay, so right now, my cook time is done, but you gotta let it depressurize, probably for about 10 to 15 minutes, okay? All right, everybody, so it's all done. I'm going to take this meat out and set that there. It's looking good. So I'm going to take all this meat out, then I'm going to go shred it. And before we shred the meat, you want to bring that au jus up to a boil and still kind of render down some of the leftover fat that's in there. All right, so now it's time to pull it apart. It comes apart pretty easily. And you don't really, like I said, you don't really want to shred it. You just want to get nice chunks. And again, I sped up this process because I don't think you want to sit here and watch me go through this whole 5-minute thing. But at the end of the day, this is what it should look like. Nice chunks, nice and moist, ready. Okay, now we're gonna move on to building this sandwich here. We can go ahead and put the meat on. Again, I sped this up just so you can get the gist of it. You know, it's not really like you really need me to explain this. I'm just gonna put this on, and we'll add the cheese. That's my cheddar cheese right there. I know I said American earlier, but I was mistaken. I put some cheddar cheese on there because it melts nice. And we'll add the bread, and we'll put it in the oven. Now the au jus has been going for about 10 minutes, and time to shut it off. And you got to put this in a strainer because you just want the juice. You don't want any of the leftover onions and vegetables and meat fat that rendered in. I'm gonna remove the stuff. And to get the fat that's left over, it's a trick to do that. You want to just push in with a ladle, skim off the top, and go ahead and remove. All right, guys, so the 10 minutes is up. This is what the sandwiches are looking like. These sliders look so good. The melted cheese, the cheddar and provolone, man. I can't wait to bite into this. Let me see if I can give you some food porn. Here goes a money shot here. Nice pull apart. Oh, the provolone cheese. Oh, man, it looks so good. I cannot wait. Yeah, close up. Yes. That looks so good, man. It smells so good. The whole house is smelling nice right now. And that's it, guys. Instapot French dip sliders. Hope you like it. Try it out. Tell me what you think. Go and leave a message in the comments. Go ahead and dip this in. Yeah, look at that. That is good. I hope you enjoy. Thank you for watching.